fast approaching. The NHS are looking, or the government or whoever, are about to sell all of our health records to the highest bidder for research and planning.
Wow.
So you can opt out of this, but you have to opt out by the end of the month. I'm about to put the link into the chat. You can do it online, or you can print off the form and then send it into the address that's on there. But if you do not want your records, they say it will be anonymized, but do we really trust them? No. So if you do, don't mind, then don't worry about it. But if you don't, boom, I've just put the link into the chat. Please click on there.
Okay, I think I'm back now. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you fine.
Can everyone hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, my beloved. Can you see my
I'm back on my computer. Brother Reverend, I'm going to shut my mouth now. I hand over to you, King.
Okay, beloved. Can everybody see my full screen here?
We can see your full screen, and we can see your beautiful, shiny face.
Oh, well, try not to look at the shiny face and look at the screen. It'll be better. All right. So, welcome, family. So today we're going to be talking about engaging in African-centered disruptive economics. And as you know, my motto is nothing is wrong with Black people. Something happened to Black people. And we want you to discover your first frequency of oneness. You can go to firstfrequencyvisitor.com or shockmetaphysics.com. And we want to talk, and we want to always lead out. And I didn't know this. This is such an honor that Brother Andrew opens up his platform every week with our affirmation of power, prosperity, and protection. And so let's do it again together with Rev Shock. Let's start out. I am one with first frequency. I am one with the first thought idea. I am one with the firstborn people. I am one with the only one. Ashe, and so it is. As always, I dedicate my presentations to three of my spiritual mothers and goddesses, the Reverend Dr. Johnny Coleman, who teaches you are the thinker who thinks the thought that makes the thing, and Reverend Dr. Helen Carey and Nana Dr. Francis Cress Wellesley. This ministry, First Frequency of Oneness, we help create a spiritual and psychological emotional barrier to the hidden signal of racial battle fatigue and racialized domestic terror. We're the only ministry in existence right now that does this. We remove the African and the African American from the effects of their false racial identities, which we call third and fourth frequencies. We help the African and African American overcome their trauma bonding, capture bonding, and Stockholm syndrome to whiteness. Additionally, First Frequency of Oneness is a culturally specific teaching ministry, and that means we're exclusively for Africans and African Americans. We do not teach to the Amu, and of course the Amu can watch and listen and perhaps learn, but that is not my ministry. We're not here to make Europeans feel safe, necessary, and needed. We specialize in helping healing and removing the ancestral, historical, and incarnate trauma. We deal with revealing our original first frequency signal and vibration. We are a science-based ministry, and it's not based on self-esteem. So I don't necessarily care how you feel. I care that you think. And so it's all based on science, and we teach rather than preach. So for some of you who are tuning in for the first time and maybe meeting with me for the first time, I have a master's degree in metaphysical science and philosophy, currently working on my doctorate. You can go to metaphysicalmorpheus.com and download my 3-part fireside chat with Brother Billy B-Man Bird, who interviewed me for 3 nights on my story and history and how I came to be. I am the minister, founding minister of First Frequency of Oneness, Science, Manifestation, and Prosperity. And so we are a ministry that is really dedicated to economic empowerment and giving back to the community what many ministers and religious organizations have taken. Shock, by the way, stands for Seeking Higher Omnipotent Cosmic or Conscious Knowledge. Founder of the Shock Metaphysics Virtual Comedic Wisdom School at shockmetaphysics.com. And of course, I am the host of the Philippe Matthews Show. How many of you might have heard of me? And I've authored more than, well, now it's 20 books, 19 books, 20 books, Amazon bestsellers. This lecture is based on my master's thesis that you will be able to have access to this webinar that I'm going to be presenting, and you'll be able to click on these links. I'll give you a place where you can go and download that. And so Professor Kaba Hiawatha Kamene says that I am the Marcus Garvey of our time. Chicken Soup for the Soul best-selling author in the history of publishing, actually. Mark Victor Hansen says I am the Oprah of internet. Now, I want you to stick to the end of this presentation because there's going to be some extra bonuses that I'm going to be offering that I haven't done before. So I'm doing something very special for my brother. Now, what the goal of this presentation is, and I've really been talking about this a lot in my ministry, and that is understanding the difference between change versus improvement. Improvement is adding or adjusting to make your current lifestyle and false racial identity more comfortable and palatable. Change, however, is removing and separating your original first frequency self from your lower frequencies, false identification of being a poor third or fourth frequency person. So what am I saying? That we are born gods and goddesses, and we're having this Negro and inward experience based upon the rude interruption of second frequency, the Amu, European or Eurasian. If you are trying to just improve your life by maybe buying a new flat screen or getting your hair did, driving a nice car, but you're still in the same framework and situation that you're in, that's not change. That's just improvement. So the question is, how are you currently making your hell more comfortable? Because that's what we're dealing with here. Now, change requires that you completely metamorphosize and change from your lower frequencies and reveal and start living, breathing, and walking as a god and goddess, as a first frequency original that was created first by the creator. Now, that is change. So you need to look at the difference between change versus improvement. Now, on this platform, particularly on Hidden Truth, this is a change platform. This is not a self-improvement platform. This platform brings on speakers, trainers, thought leaders, change agents that literally change the world and restore us back to our original first frequency signal. This is what Brother Andrew Muhammad is dedicated to. This is what he's doing with the academy and with the children. But this is what he does, whoever he meets, whoever comes into this presence, this force of nature called Andrew Muhammad, whether that's physically or virtually, change is going to occur. So it's not about self-improvement, it is about changing. Now, I want you to keep an open mind on this presentation because we have never done, I've never shared with you a presentation on wealth and mindset. So I really want to get deep and hard into this and give you some tactical, practical understandings of what's going on. How to break the epigenetics of poverty and financial struggle. See, we have been socially engineered to be poor, to financially struggle. Poverty is not a natural occurrence in nature, and it's not a natural occurrence in Africa. Poverty is white man made. Write that down. Poverty and financial struggle is white man made or European made. It is a European construct that creates the haves and the have-nots. It is completely false. And we're going to talk about breaking through and breaking free from that. How to give yourself an economic blueprint to pass on to your children, how to create a legacy wealth, and discover how to collapse your economic time. Now, there's a concept that I have been sharing with the family called the 100th monkey effect. It's observed as a phenomenon in which a new behavior or idea is said to spread rapidly by unexplained means from one group to all related groups once a critical number of members of one group exhibit the new behavior or acknowledge the new idea. So let's put that in perspective, and let's put that in first frequency activation. Every week, every Tuesday, when you come on with Brother Andrew Muhammad, and I've been with him now, I don't know, I think it's almost been half a year. I think it's been almost 6 months or 5 months or something like this. This has been crazy. We've been working together, I feel like forever. But every Tuesday, when you come on, I've noticed that the numbers are growing exponentially. And so what does that mean? It means that you are changing, you are learning something. And by learning something and incorporating this information that you get from this platform, you infect positively and affect positively the people around you. This is what we call epigenetics. And so epigenetics doesn't have to be just person to person. It can be environmental using this process that we call the internet. This is how we create this 100th monkey effect. So what I'm going to be teaching you today is what my goal is to spread this around the globe. Now, I am currently in talks with King Bungana, His Majesty King Bungana III of the Embo Kingdom in South Africa. We're currently working right now in terms of all of her media and putting all of her intellectual properties and economic strategies in place, also with Queen Diambi of the Congo. So this is what we are up to today as we move forward. So now I want to introduce to you the First Frequency Economic Affiliate Freedom Program that is exclusively for us in the diaspora. It's the first of its kind disruptive economic process using the latest in African sacred science, internet and social media marketing platforms and applications designed to exponentially grow African wealth that educate, liberates, and emancipates first frequency Africans, wherever they may be geographically located in the diaspora. So what is disruptive economics? Well, disruptive economics comes from the term disruptive innovation. In business theory, disruptive innovation is an innovation that creates a new market and value network and eventually displace the original established market leading firms, products, and alliances. And so that's what we're going to be introducing today. So I want to talk about understanding first frequency sudden wealth syndrome. Now, this is a concept that I've had many conversations with Baba Kaba about, and many other elders, because a lot of us come from poverty. We come from financial struggle. We have a unique set of skills and knowledge in our African history, but we don't know how to earn income. We don't know how to get out of the rat race. And when we do get out of the rat race, because we have not been born into a blueprint of success, wealth, and health, we sometimes sabotage the very thing that we have manifested. And that is why it's called sudden wealth, because the wealth is sudden. And I'm going to demonstrate to you what we've done with our beloved Baba Kaba and kind of take you through his sudden wealth journey. Now, what I'm doing for this particular group that's going to be watching this, and also on the YouTube, go now to firstfrequencysuddenwealth.com. There's a special book that I wrote on the topic of sudden wealth that I'm giving to the community. You can make a donation or you can download it for free, whatever you wish to do. But I had an interview with Nana Dr. Patricia Newton, and she is one of the greatest minds of our time. And that interview absolutely changed me. And so I decided to dedicate her work into this process of sudden wealth. And years ago, I had an interview with MC Hammer, and he talked to me about his Sutton wealth syndrome that he was going through, and how he had to adjust to becoming a multi-millionaire and also adjusting to fame. Now, what you're about to learn is the science of creating wealth without boundaries, blending high-end spiritual disciplines with cutting-edge wealth-building strategies and tools that allow you to undo any past or present financial mistakes and challenges. Due to years of social engineering, most of us have some sort of psychological blind spot, an invisible set point towards wealth and success that can be pinpointed by asking the question, why have I not reached my next level of wealth, or why am I stuck at my current level of money? And when we talk about a blind spot, and we're talking about a set point, you know, in weight loss, there's this concept called a set point where you lose a certain amount of weight and then it gets really, really hard because your body has a particular set point that it functions and operates on, that has been conditioned to do by you, and you have to push through that. Well, it's the same for our wealth. We have been conditioned to experience wealth, money, and prosperity at a particular set point. That set point is based on our consciousness and how we view wealth and how we view prosperity. Now, the African brain is hardwired to succeed, strive, and push the evolutionary envelope of achievement. It is written in our DNA that who acquires the most amount of money and wealth gets to use their financial leverage to positively influence and change the world. My goal with this introductory training process is designed to teach you how to recognize and break through your psychological barriers and these blind spots as it relates to wealth creation. You're also going to learn new tools to break through the financial stagnation and mediocrity that all of us have experienced at some point in our lives, and many of us are still experiencing that. So the African mind has been colonized to neurologically and psychologically wired to defend all levels of wealth or lack thereof. What does that mean? So there's a concept known as homeostasis. I know I call her doctor. Lady Adele has talked about this on the platform. And the homeostasis is, again, your set point. And so there's a point where you go that in your consciousness, no matter what you do, no matter how many affirmations you say, no matter how much you attend church, no matter how much tithing you do, you stay at a particular point and level. And this is where the psychosis comes in, where this is social engineering. This is not what you're supposed to do. This is not natural to an African. We are supposed to constantly evolve and outdo each generation that preceded us. But it looks like we're in this regression because we have to understand how to psychologically break through this set point and this impoverished mentality. So you may have set up internal resentments against rich people, blindly labeling everything and everyone who represents being rich as evil, greedy, and not worthy of compassion. Those are European standards. That's the social engineering. That's the infection that is in our minds because we think money is bad. We think wealth is bad. Well, it's bad when what the European, the Amu second frequency, did to us and how they used their wealth against us. Absolutely. But what we've done is we've internalized that and made a blanket conscious statement, unconscious statement, if you will, that money is bad. I don't need money. I don't need a lot of money. I'm a simple person. Oh, I just believe in simple abundance, which is an oxymoron. And so this is why we shy away from anything that is designed to move us exponentially into a wealth mindset. We've been trained to use religion as a means to justify why we are poor and should remain poor. I don't want to be rich. I just want to be comfortable. I don't want to be owned by the system or the man. We set up all of these psychological barriers why we should not have wealth. And so this psychological position is nothing more than a socially engineered neurological barrier that have been put in place to keep us stuck over time. The goal of the AMU system, the European system, is for us to buy into this false racial construct that we're Negroes, niggers, and niggas, third and fourth frequencies. The goal is for us to adapt, assimilate, and colonize into a religion or spiritual system that is diametrically opposed to us flourishing. And as a result of that, understanding that this is what keeps us stuck, and the goal is for us to run out of time. So most of us don't wake up in time to make a corrective change and to reverse the financial struggle and poverty that we were birthed into. Because again, nothing's wrong with us, something happened to us. Poverty is done to you. Poverty and financial struggle is something that is being done to you. It is an act and form of domestic terrorism on a people. It was the government that created what we call here hoods and ghettos. I think it was Dr. Claude Anderson used a joke and said, the reason we call them hoods is because we don't have no neighbors. It's no neighborhood, it's just hoods. Well, this is manufactured. No one, you never asked to be born into an impoverished zip code. That was not your goal. That was not your intention. That was not your plan. You didn't go up to your mommy and daddy when you were a baby and say, when I grow up, I want to be impoverished. I want to financially struggle. I never want to be able to pay a bill on time. I want to be in debt. These are not goals. These are socially engineered experiences. This was done to us. And this is why nothing is wrong with us. And so we'll even, because we don't understand our history, know who we are, we'll blame God. This is God's will. You know, I'm supposed to be poor. I'm supposed to financially struggle. You know, this is God's will. It's absolute insanity. And we're going to break that today. The human brain is designed to succeed and maintain whatever is dominant in the environment. And that is known as axiology. The longer you are impoverished, the harder it becomes to break free from the poverty mindset that is housed in that environment or zip code. You will not be able to recognize opportunities when they present themselves, and you will have to watch many people you know pass you by using the same opportunities in philosophical and intellectually rejected at the time. Now, this is personal for me because I know people who I've had conversations with 20 years ago, 10 years ago, literally, and I have passed them by. They came in and said, I'd love to work with you, but somehow their consciousness ended up self-sabotaging themselves. Remember when I was here last month and I talked about the lizard brain? I'm gonna do a review on that in this conversation today. But the lizard brain from the social engineering, no matter what they did, they kept trying to self-sabotage themselves and make something that was good for them not be able to work and manifest. So science supports that the longer you are exposed to an environment, any environment, the more you will set up the psychological and behavioral adaptations necessary to live and survive in that environment. I have been taught how to be poor. It's a learned behavior. Poverty is a learned behavior. Financial struggle, living paycheck to paycheck, is a learned behavior. It is not a natural structure of nature. It is not natural. So you and I are living a lie. We've been birthed into this lie that this is as good as it gets. And so the body and the brain, they knew what they were doing when they did this. If you birth them, if you birth the children into an impoverished environment, they will then adapt to low or no expectations. And so as a result of this, they have created generational poverty, generational financial struggle. This has been done to us. We are not poor people. We are the wealthiest people in the world because we are the first people in the world. We are the wealthiest people in the world because we were first thought to be put into existence when the Creator decided that it wanted to multiply, replicate, and duplicate itself in human organic form. And the first African was created, which was the most perfect archetype of all humanity. That's who we are. That cannot be poor.
Brother,
Yes,
teach
sir.
that word, King. Oh, brother, I'm buzzing. I'm buzzing. Teach, King. We can never be poor.
We can never be. We can never be poor. Absolutely. So let's talk about this concept that we have been conditioned and socially engineered to. Now, I don't know in the UK how the paychecks work, but here in America, people live, when I talk about paycheck to paycheck, it's the 1st and the 15th, right? And Baba Kaba can share a great story if you remember to ask him, Brother Andrew, about living from the 1st to the 15th and receiving that check and how, you're supposed to pay all your bills on the 1st, but then sometimes you have to, carry it over. You run out of money and income, and then you got to use that 15th check to pay for the stuff that you didn't pay on the 1st. And this is an addiction. Yes. This is addiction. We are addicted to poverty.
Yes,
we
sir.
are addicted to poverty. So think about your current situation and the place that you're in. Are you financially stable? Are you debt free? After you have paid whatever amount of money you owe, do you remain debt free? If by chance you answered no to any or all of these questions, then you have a serious case that can be made for your addiction to poverty due to the systemic racialized poverty inherent within the African economic system. Now, in this system, they have, so when you talk about socially engineering someone, when you talk about producing people to be part of historical generational poverty, then wouldn't it make sense that we would become addicted to the very thing that was falsified and placed upon us? So here in the States, Joe Biden, became president, and he put in this stimulus package to help the community economically move themselves forward, recover from COVID, economic loss, job loss, so on and so forth. Well, guess what happened? What has happened is my queen and I, we frequent a couple of restaurants in various different places in town, and we've been wondering why the wait staff and various different things have been so marginalized. And what has happened, I was talking to my attorney about this as well, is that the addiction to poverty has created a new welfare mother and a new welfare father. And so they don't want to work now. They don't want to work. They just want the government to completely take care of them. And so they've become now they're still impoverished. They're still living paycheck to paycheck, but there's no paycheck because the government is giving them that paycheck. And so they don't want to go back to the system that was allowing them to get out. So they've been literally socially engineered to never want to get out. Imagine that. So living paycheck to paycheck, understanding that there are millions of first frequency Africans who are going through this same thing, these same levels of emotions. And being addicted to poverty, we have to look at an addiction and attack the addiction as if it was substance abuse. Now, the longer you're in poverty and experience financial struggle, the more your brain will adapt and begin to subconsciously accepting that this is natural. This is just a way of life. This is the lie. This is how they got us, if you will, because we have been birthed into this. And so we're looking at mommy and daddy, and we're looking at our aunts and uncles. We're looking at our zip code. We're looking at our neighborhood and saying, well, this must be all there is. Your brain begins setting up situations and circumstances that keep you responding and reacting and recovering from your financial struggle. So because you've been socially engineered, even though you have the first frequency economic platform of Africa birthed within you, but you've been born into this trauma, you've been born into this racial battle fatigue. And so it has taught you that the environment, the axiology, the zip code that you've been birthed into is all there is. And so now you have to go out and harm another Black man or Black woman because so that you can eat, and you have to do nefarious things, and you have to do certain dirt in order to survive, because you've been conditioned that this environment, this zip code, this level of consciousness, this set point is all there is, and there's nothing more. That is what has been done to you. Nothing is wrong with our brothers and sisters out here in these streets. Something happened to them. It is still happening to them. It is our job to change and give them this information and put it in front of them so they can see for themselves exactly what happened to them and what is happening to them, so that they can then do something about it.
Brother Reverend,
Yes, sir.
we've got a powerful, one of our powerful sisters, Dr. Lorna Fontaine. She's just put in the chat room, a way in which white supremacists oppress our people is by putting us and making us dependent upon welfare.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Absolutely, 100%. That is 100% correct. That's the social engineering. Again, this is done to us. It's an act of domestic terrorism. It is an act of violence. It's an act of economic violence. It creates what's known as trauma bonding, capture bonding, Stockholm syndrome. So let me use that question, a very great point from the doctor. In domestic violence, I had a client who was married to a football player, and she had been not economically viable all her life. She married into $1 million lifestyle, and eventually the marriage dissipated, and he began to economically oppress her because she was living out of her SUV. And as a result, that is a trauma bond, because she kept asking him, can you help me out? Can you help me out? I'm out here in these streets. And that is economic oppression. That is the same thing that has been done to us. That brother and that sister who is out here struggling, that's a learned behavior that is now passed on. And now when you're successfully indoctrinated, when you're successfully colonized, when you're successfully domesticated, you do it to yourself. You do it to your own. What was it that said, I don't need a front door. I'll go to the back and I'll make a door. I'll go to the back of the bus on my own. This is what we're doing to ourselves now. So as we move forward, let's go teaching our children how to make money while they're sleeping. This is why I really enjoy Brother Andrew, what he's doing with the Academy, and Brother Nana that we saw earlier. It's about teaching this to the children. Now, the Sutton wealth syndrome of our beloved Kaba Hiawatha Kamene, we've had 7 years of amazing growth and success, and he entrusted me. Is something going on with the audio? Uh-oh. Can you guys hear me? Am I still here?
You're still there. Yeah, it's not. It was Andrew who was having some problems. So.
Oh, okay. Woo. Okay. I was getting ready to say they really coming at us. All right. So in this 7-year journey with our beloved Baba, I taught him the system of digitalnomics. I taught him the system of affiliate marketing, disruptive economics, and so as a result. There's an echo here. Sorry if that if there is. As a result, I helped him publish all 3 of his books. The first was Honoring William Leo Hansberry. Second was Spirituality Before Religion, and his current book that was also debuted on this show was Shabaka Stone. And so through the disruptive economic process and system that I put in place, this is what has happened to his life. He is selling $5,000 worth of books per month. And this was one of his totals from April 1st to May 1st. He earned over $10,000 in revenue. So we took Baba Kaba, who was a school teacher who was retired and living off of his retirement income. We started out creating an additional 5-figure income for him. And now we have moved him into 6-figure income. So of course, the next iteration is to move him into a 7-figure player, because particularly all of our scholars should be multimillionaires. That is just a fact, and that is just a point. All of our scholars, Dr. Wade Nobles, Leonard Jeffries, Baba Smalls, Baba Kaba, all of them, Obadiah Shaka, Natiri Nelson, all of them should be multimillionaires, but they're not. And the reason that they're not is because of this social engineering of being taught how to be poor. As a result of that, even the community takes advantage of our scholars. They want everything for free. They don't want to pay anything. And if they do pay something, they want to get a discount. All of this is part of the poverty consciousness, the social engineering. Brother, give me the hookup. I can't pay that full price. Now, let me ask you something. When you go to, if I went right now to purchase a Bentley and I went in there and I said, can y'all give me the hookup? That hookup would be a call to 911 and the police would be coming and taking my ass out of there, because it ain't no hookup. When you can't afford to get something, you don't get that something. So we have to learn how to become consciously equivalent to that which we want to manifest, and then give back to our scholars who have given us the glory and the information to move ourselves forward as a people. Sorry, I went on a soapbox, but that's just how Rev Shock feels about that. So I wanted to take Baba Kaba and some of the other scholars, and I wanted to make them rich. I wanted them to have money. I wanted them to be able to give more to the people, because the more money they made, the more money they were able to give, the more information, the more research and development they were able to give to their people. And so when we talk about this process, let's talk about what I have come to realize is probably one of the most underrated disruptive economic processes ever, and that's affiliate marketing. So what is affiliate marketing? I talked about this my first appearance on the show with our beloved brother Andrew Muhammad. Now, affiliate marketing is not network marketing, so don't get it twisted and don't get it confused. Multi-level marketing or network marketing, or what's also called pyramid schemes and scandals, is a controversial strategy for the sale of products or services where the revenue of the MLM company is derived from a non-salaried workforce selling the company's products or services, while the earnings of the participants are derived from a pyramid-shaped or binary compensation commission system. So basically, an MLM is a pyramid scheme. Now, of course, people will argue about it and, call it different names, network marketing and things of sort. But affiliate marketing is not this. What we're going to teach you is affiliate marketing is what Jeff Bezos invented back in '96 when he allowed people who had an internet presence. This was well before social media, but people who had a website or people who had email and they wanted to recommend a product or recommend a service or a book on Amazon. Jeff Bezos allowed people to sign up for free, which it still is today. And you can become an Amazon affiliate or an Amazon associate. And when people click on the link that you recommend, or the book or the service or the product on Amazon that you're recommending to someone, Amazon writes you a check. That is incredible. More 6- and 7-figure players have been created just from that moment when Jeff Bezos came into the scene and changed the game. Because now all I have to do is send out a link, and you can go to Amazon.com right now. You go to the bottom of the page and look for where it says become an affiliate. I think those are the words, become an affiliate. And you can become an affiliate, and all the books and tapes and DVDs and CDs and streamings and everything is all up for sale. So you can share anything that you want to your constituents, to your email address, to your family members, to your social media platforms, and you can start earning a pretty nice amount of money on a monthly basis just by recommending someone else's intellectual property if you don't have the wherewithal to produce your own. That is that's such a freedom. It's amazing. So it's the process, affiliate marketing is the process of earning commission by promoting other people or companies' digital products. You find a product you like, you promote it to others and earn a piece of the profit. So there's no expertise that is needed per se. There might be a learning curve with people who don't know how to use computers and how to post on Facebook or Facebook pages and things of the sort. But pretty much no experience needed. Something you could do really on your cell phone. Low investment costs, if not any. Secondary source of income that it creates for you, convenience and flexibility, and pay per performance, meaning that if you don't send out a link or do a recommendation, you don't get a check. So it's about you doing the actual work and taking back this training or unlearning how to be a slave. Because when we look at this concept called a JOB, a just over broke, it is just another form of enslavement, because you are trying to trade, you have been trained to trade your time for a dollar, not your value. Trading your time, not your value, for a dollar amount. And so when that's slavery. And so when you want, if you make $50 an hour, but you're a first frequency god or goddess, you could make 1,000 in an hour, 5,000 in an hour. Well, you can't, because you've trained your brain to only make $50 an hour. So now you have to shrink your life to make it fit into a low-level frequency of economics and consciousness, and that's the lie that has been taught to you. So this is why we're going to teach you disruptive economics. Now, the key that I want you to remember on this platform, on this process, is strangers. What Les Brown gave to me back in 1992. He says, strangers will make you rich. Les Brown took me under his wing, and maybe he didn't. Maybe I just stalked the man. That's probably what it was. I probably stalked Les Brown. He everywhere he goes, he was seeing me. I was like, how did you find out where I live? I was like, hey, brother, I just love you, and I want to learn everything from you. So Les Brown really taught me the speaking game and the seminar game and the platforms and how to make money, how to make multiple sources of income. And so he told me strangers make you rich. So I want to dig into that concept, because affiliate marketing is a numbers game. You need to build and generate a large audience clicking on your affiliate links and URLs. So the more strangers you are able to access, the wealthier you will become. Now watch this. One of the other aspects of this social engineering that we have been birthed into is that we inherently think small. Now, they have taken our axiology of being people to people, person to person, and family oriented, and they've turned it against us to keep us small and just in a particular zip code. So many of us don't have a clue, or even have ever thought perhaps, that if there's 8 billion people on this planet and the Amu second frequency is the minority, it's probably safe to say that out of that 8 billion, 6 billion are us, are African melanated people. That's a lot of people, because we are first frequency. We populated the entire planet. We still have always been the minority. I mean, the majority. What they have taught us how to be is a minority. But now, because they're dying off in the birth dearth, and this thing is getting real, and they're losing seats in the Senate and the House, and these young people are coming in and voting them out, and Black people, African people are voting them out. Now they have this new term called majority minority. So they're the majority, even though they're the minority. This is the sickness. But I went off on a tangent, but I really wanted you to understand that poverty is a sickness. It's a dis-ease. It's no different than being an alcoholic or having a substance abuse issue. We have been proselytized and conditioned this way. So I want to, so show me the money, right? Show me the money. So I put together, and I also have a, what do you call that thing? Excel, where you can put in different numbers and things and see what you can earn. So let's look at a digital asset that costs $25. And a digital asset, by the way, it could be a PDF book, an ebook, special report. It could be a video, it could be an audio, it could be an audio book. It could be a video series, it could be one video, but it has to be served digitally through the internet. So it's a digital asset. Now, at First Frequency of Oneness and Shock Metaphysics, we pay 50% commission. We do a 50-50 split because it's Ma'at. And so whatever you share and somebody clicks on a link and purchases that product, you get 50%. What I wanted to do in ministry, and I struggled with this as I was developing the strategy of my ministry and what I wanted to do differently, because I don't believe in tithing. I don't believe tithing and the way the church structure and where the minister and the people are at the top and the congregation is poor and struggling and giving the rich guy more money than that doesn't make sense to me. And I've seen this categorically throughout the years. So I wanted to level the playing field. And I said, well, what if there's a 50-50 split where my virtual congregation, which is around the world, when they recommend one of my digital assets of First Frequency, they get cut a check immediately and they get 50% of the proceeds. So what happens when the church receives or the organization receives 50% and the congregants receive 50%? This has never been done in history. And I'm so proud to be able to bring this to the community. We launched this initiative in Africa with Dr. Susan Tata, and it just went buck wild. It went crazy. So we know that this works. We know from the numbers and what we're doing with beloved Baba Kaba that this system is the new economic system. It's a disruptive economic system. But to be able to come to a ministry and rather come out of your pocket to give to the minister is saying, no, here, why don't you go over here, sign up for free, choose a digital asset, one of our product services or whatever, and recommend it to somebody in your email, recommend it to somebody on social media. When they make a purchase, you automatically get 50% of whatever that is. So when we look at that 50% commission, let's look at a $12.50 product or digital asset with 200 sales per day, 200 people, only 200 people out of 6 billion around the world. This is very, very conservative. That's $2,500 a day. $2,500 a day, 1,000, I'm sorry, that should be 17,500 per week. And it's over 70,000 per month and close to $1 million per year. And this is by just signing up as an affiliate. Not, this is not network marketing. You don't have to put no money down. You don't have to do any of that. You just sign up. You can go to Amazon. Like I said, it's free. You can go to Amazon.com, go down to the bottom of the page and click on become an affiliate and go through the process. They're going to go through all the prompts, read all the literature and everything of the process of becoming and engaging in affiliate marketing. This is what we need to teach our children, but this is the exact system that I put in place for our beloved Baba Kaba. And so as a result, when we look at showing me the money of this system, I developed a 10-step process, and there's a ebook that, or a special report that I produced called Spiritualnomics, based on Digitaronomics. And so I want you can go and get this 10-step process. It's going to basically walk you through start to finish, how to become an affiliate, how to promote and market your affiliate links, how to get your unique affiliate links, what products and digital assets and services First Frequency of Oneness has that you can be a part of and that you can recommend. So literally, you could recommend this book. You could recommend Spiritualnomics and make 50% off of each sale of the book, which could be very, very lucrative. We have a Kemetic Wisdom School, a virtual Kemetic Wisdom School, where students pay $29 a month, $14.95 a month, or $97 a month because we give 50% off. But imagine if you had 200 students enrolled for that $14.97 and you get half of that, you now have predictable income that's coming in every month. So it's not just one product. Now you have a continuation of income that is guaranteed, that is coming to you. And all you had to do was just send it out and promote it. So this is the power of affiliate marketing. And so when we look at this 50%, one of the things that comes to mind is, you know, my minister, Reverend Dr. Johnny Coleman, talks about, you are the thinker who thinks the thought that makes the thing. And I really want you to get this, that you are the God or the goddess who is the thinker. Your I amness, your isness, your allness is the one that thinks the thought, which is the intention. And that intention is what makes the thing or the manifestation. So you have the ability right now to take full control of your life and collapse time, reinvent your personal history, because this is what I had to do for myself. If some of you know my story, I came from abject poverty. I came from welfare. I was homeless. So I know the streets, the real streets, and I ended up shifting and moving, raising my consciousness, understanding what first frequency is. And now I'm a savage out here in these internet streets, shutting it down based upon what Brother Andrew Muhammad said in the UK. So you are a god or goddess manifesting your reality as a god and goddesses, because you are made in the image and likeness and the signal of first frequency and the creator. So what do I mean by that? Because you are a god or goddess, even if you're unaware of that, and even if you don't accept that, you as the God that you are, the God power and source that you are, you can use that God power to keep yourself impoverished or to completely remove yourself from poverty. You can use that God power to continually live paycheck to paycheck and financially struggle and live in their economic lie, or you can be disruptive and say, enough is enough. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. It's time for me to live my best self and my best life. Now, when we talk about this understanding, this has been done to us. So this 10-step process is what I used to get out of poverty, because it wasn't enough for me to just have the spiritual aspect to it. What do I mean by that? One of my, I call him, he's like a son to me, is a brother named Young Getadro. I had him on the show with Lord Jamar. He's a really beautiful brother here in Sacramento. He reached out to me on Instagram some time ago, and we started talking. And one of the things he said when we finally had a chance to talk on the phone is he said, Brother Philippe, I love my scholars. I love Baba Smalls and Professor Kaba and John Henry Clark and all of these scholars, but how do they teach me to eat? Because I'm out here in these streets having to sell drugs, do things that I don't want to do in order to survive. How can this spiritual system and our African system and our African heritage and history, how can it teach me to eat? And that is when I decided to launch the affiliate marketing process and program to the world, to the congregation, because I recognize this is the way out of the streets. I had an interview in Digitanomics. I had an interview with Freeway Ricky Ross, who was and is one of the most amazing brothers I've ever met. But the reason he started selling crack is because he was poor. You know, see, this is why we look at why are we doing what we're doing, is because we've been conditioned to be poor. This was done to us. Someone did this to your mother and father. Somebody did this to your grandmother and grandfather. Somebody did this. This was a direct, deliberate act of violence and terrorism. You're not supposed to be, the house that you live in, you're supposed to be in a mansion, but the house you're living in, at least here in America, I don't know if they did it in the UK, because of redlining, even if we had the money to buy the house or the mansion, we couldn't move into the neighborhood. it was illegal. That's done to us. And so we had to move into an area that they designated and they created that didn't have access to economics and education. And so now you grow, you grow up, you have a child, and now that child is born into that same zip code and economic situation, and the beat goes on. This was done to us.
Brother Rev?
Yes, sir.
Please, I'll be remiss if I don't do this. Brothers and sisters, if you're feeling this, brother, you know what I'm going to say. Sani Banani. No, Sani Banani. Tell the brother whether you see him. The brother's sharing his private life. He's sharing he's opening up the doors of how we can literally become number one and wealthy. And he's sharing. Brothers and sisters, if you're feeling my brother, tell him that I see you. I see you.
I can't see it because I have a full screen. Oh, no, I can see it. There it is. Oh, my gosh. That's a beautiful.
Yeah, you let the brother know. You show him the ones on Sani Banani, which means I see you. I see you, man, because this is just amazing, man. This is what you call revolution. Yeah, ain't about just going out with a placard. This is revolution. So as the brother is teaching, feel it, make your notes. We're going to act on it on this platform.
Did I lose your audio, brother? Okay, there you go.
Can you get, yeah, many of you have done your complaints. Keep listening to the brother. Put in your complaints to the advertising board. So we're making history there. We're doing action there. And we're feeding from Reverend. And we're making action tonight that we all can have a better life tomorrow. Reverend, carry on, my king.
Thank you. Thank you, my beloved. So when we look at this concept of a deliberate act, and we look at this understanding of disruptive economics, one of the things that I wanted to, one of the reasons why I really gravitated toward affiliate marketing is because it already fit with what I'm doing. All of you have maybe at least one, maybe more social media platforms that you like. Some of you are on Facebook, some of you are on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, TikTok, all of them can be monetized. So you're already sharing content. I'm sharing Brother Andrew Muhammad's show. Well, why don't you share and recommend something and get paid for it? You're already in the ecosystem. It's already there for you. So all you have to do is show up, sign up, and then show up. So here's what I want you to do. I want to personally invite you to this 10-step process of producing affiliate marketing wealth and success by downloading this 39-page ebook and handbook. And also attached to that is a 14-day affiliate marketing e-course. So, and I'm going to be doing personal group Zoom, private Zoom meetings starting, what are we in? We're in June, starting in July, actually. So I'm going to be pulling that together. So you really want to be a part of that. So I can teach you the deep aspects of affiliate marketing and all the tips, all the tricks, all the tools, all the secrets, and any questions that you have, any level of area where you're stuck, we're going to get you unstuck so you can manifest this reality. So earlier I told you that we pay 50% commission. Amazon only pays 4%. So that can kind of, let that, let that marinate, let that set in for a minute, that this trillion-dollar company only pays 4% to its affiliates. Now, it means you have to work super, super duper hard in order to earn a 6 or 7 figure lifestyle at a 4 to 15% rate. 50%, that's doable. That's something that has some meat on the bone. So as we move through this process, I want to really end this with one of the reasons why you might fail at this. And we talked about this the last time that I was here. And what I want to introduce you to, if this is your first time, I want to introduce you to the concept of a compromised lizard brain. And it's based on ghosting trauma. And so ghosting trauma is a trauma that Africans and African Americans feel, a constant sense of doom, extreme anxiety, worrying that something bad is going to happen to you. Why do we feel that something bad is going to happen? Why do we not feel deserving of living heaven on earth while we are here, rather than running out of time? And this is a prime example of what we talk about in quantum entanglement, but it affects and compromises our lizard brain. And everybody can do this, but everyone won't do this. So your lizard brain, which is the emotional part of your brain that has been compromised from social engineering, colonization, successful domestication, as a result, we have become in certain ways robots to this system, and propaganda and media. All of these are things that keep us keep our lizard brain compromised. And so as a result, it has betrayed that which causes us to not make logical decisions, only emotional decisions that sabotage our good and our future good. Our lizard brain has trained us to watch YouTube videos, but not take action on the information and the transformation that you receive from these videos. We become literally addicted to it. The lizard brain has emotionally forced us to fail by not taking action. So some of us will listen to what Brother Andrew Muhammad has brought to this platform, and we'll be nodding our head. We'll be in the chat saying, you know, giving the ones and B1s and thumbs up. But right after the show ends, that's it. You don't take action on the information or the opportunity that was given. And then you complain and wonder why. Well, why am I still in the situation? Why am I still struggling? It's because you're not taking action, because your lizard brain has been compromised. So I want you again to know nothing's wrong with you. This is what is happening to you and has happened to you. Your lizard brain has caused you to suffer from false evidence appearing real, which is fear. Your compromised lizard brain and by the way, there are only two fears that we are birthed with: the fear of a loud sound and the fear of falling. Those are the only two instinct first frequency fears that we have. All other fears are taught, are learned. Be with that for a moment. We only come here with two fears. So all the fear that we have of success or failure, whatever it is false evidence appearing real.
Sir,
Our compromise.
In quickly.
Go ahead. Who is this?
Sorry. Just so that we can make some actions, could you provide or let me know what the link is? I've tried to have a look on your website, but I can't seem to find the link to the book that you were.
Oh, yeah, it's going to come up. It's going to come up.
Okay, lovely.
I got another section. I'm going to finish this section and then it's going to come up. Yeah, you'll be able to download it easily.
You know, we've had lots of really good feedback so far. Just to intervene just a little bit, I don't want to stop your flow here, but we've had Winston who said, poor Winston, or actually maybe not even poor Winston. This is Winston says he's been working for 6 years in the same job and he's decided that he's leaving tomorrow. You've opened his eyes.
Well, wait a minute now. Well, hold on. Have some reserves now. No, but this is very real.
I feel how he's feeling. I know what
absolutely.
Like. You know, when you just feel really hard done by it, you feel like I need to make some action. So, Winston, if you are going to do that, obviously make sure you do have reserves. But you know, I wish you well on that. Gorilla says, "Thank you for your clear breakdown." Eva says, they are creating a cycle of apathy where we live hand to mouth.
Yes.
Well and Jenny was the first person who mentioned the just over broke. She wrote that in there before you mentioned it. And Michael said this is very valuable knowledge. And Joe says thanks for sharing your personal journey. Obviously that took a lot for that to come out. A few questions, obviously, I think you've mentioned that we will need some kind of social media account. So that was to Charmaine, who was asking about, do you need social media? I think that's been answered now. There was another question about digital assets linking to non-fundable tokens.
Let me get to the end of this because all of that is going to be part of it. And we'll open it up for questions and answers.
I'll stop there.
So I'm almost done. So in this compromised lizard brain, as we, and someone so eloquently said that we have been put into this apathy, which is absolutely on point. You don't believe that this will work. You don't feel deserving of the very thing that you desire because you have been taught and told that you're no good, never been any good. You have to die to get to heaven. And so why would you feel deserving of having anything good in your life? And you have probably failed and tried things so many times and it didn't work out because it was in that European framework and it was in that false racial construct of being a Negro or this N-word out here in these streets. And so you can't get off the treadmill, you can't get out of the rat race. So you trained yourself not to feel deserving of having the very thing that you desire. You tried so many times that you failed and now you've learned to be helpless. And this is what is called learned helplessness. This is where it comes from in our lizard brain. This is socially engineered. Learned helplessness is a socially engineered construct and process, right? So this, again, nothing's wrong with you. This is what has been done to you and us and is still being done to us. As I'm speaking, the moment you turn this off and go back into that reality, there, just as Brother Muhammad showed the photo of the lugworm, or the worms or whatever with the slugs down the sister's face, that is being done to us as an act of propaganda, domestic terrorism. That is what is being done to us. And it creates this ghosting trauma that we're afraid that this will not work as well as so many other things we've tried that didn't work. And we've been conditioned for overnight success versus measured success. So the reason that they started having all of these competition shows, you know, America's Got Talent and all of these kinds of things, is they're trying to condition the mind of instant gratification as opposed to long-term gratification and structuring a lifestyle versus this addictive behavior that causes us to go out and gamble and go into debt and various different things. All of this is being systematically done to us by a group of psychopathic, sociopathic people. And so we also have been conditioned not to trust people who look like us. So we'll go out and we'll, you know, I think it was Dr. Claude Anderson on the Breakfast Club telling the story about and I think Charlemagne brought it up about the white ice. You know, the white ice is supposed to be better. So, you know, here's a brother selling ice, but this brother will break his neck to go into the store where the white ice is, but the ice is still the same ice, but because it's from a white person or a European, you will rock with that, give them money, give them support. But then when your own shows up with an opportunity for us to be one, to be together and to create Ugenomics, you will probably find a way in that compromised lizard brain to compromise that relationship, self-sabotage that relationship with your own brethren. You're afraid of the outcome. You don't feel deserving of the manifestation. You're not really serious, but you don't want to look stupid. So one of the things that we do, we come in and we kind of kick the tires. We don't want to look like we don't know what we're talking about. So we just kind of nod our heads like, I'm really rich. But you have an absolute no idea what is going on. You have been taught to work hard, not smart. This is smart work that we do, not hard work that we do. And so I really want to stress that, because what I did with Baba Kaba is just taught him how to post links, how to develop his YouTube presence. And now his son has taken over his Instagram, and in a matter of probably 3 to 4 months, has over 40,000 followers. And so now his son is doing the exact same thing that I taught Kaba how to do. We have been conditioned to want instant gratification. We feel something or someone owes us something. This compromised lizard brain causes us to think that and feel that we're dumb and stupid and we can't really figure this thing out. That's a big, big lie. Again, another act of domestic terrorism. We suffer from vacant esteem, have very little sense of self. and can't follow through and can't follow direction. So how many times has Brother Andrew Muhammad said, do this, this, and this, and we say, yeah, and then we don't do it? Why? Have we ever asked why? And we might come up with philosophical reasons or even tactical, practical. Oh man, I'm busy. I had to, or the moon is over on the left side of the right side of the hand of the solar plexus things, and we come up with, well, my dog got AIDS and herpes and the fish is not well. We'll come up with every damn excuse, and we never ask the question, where did that come from? You've been taught and conditioned to fail, and so nothing is wrong with us. Something happened to us. So go to this link, hiddentruthdownloads.com. On that page, you will be able to download your personal copy of Spiritualnomics, the 10-step process, right? Now, what's going to happen, you're going to go through those 10 steps. I'm going to give you instructions. You're going to go through those 10 steps. When you get to that last step, at that last chapter, it's going to ask you to fill out a form that will let me know and my staff know what digital asset you want to share on your social media platform of choice. Once that happens, you'll get an email that will confirm that you are an affiliate. You'll have your own unique affiliate ID. If you have gone through the 10-step process, you'll know how to shorten those links. You'll know how to post those links. You'll know where to post those links. You'll know how to write reviews and how to recommend the product or digital asset that we're talking about. So go and do the work. Go to hiddentruthdownloads.com. If y'all can put that in the chat, that would be fantastic. and on that page is the book Spiritualnomics. So let's talk about a couple of little extra bonuses that we have for you today. So some of you already have done it, and thank you for that. You can go to First Frequency SuttonWealth.com, download this book, this special report with Nana Patricia Newton and MC Hammer, and I'm going to walk you through the process of how that compromised lizard brain has created a Sutton wealth syndrome, that once you start making the money, what are you going to do with the money? How are you going to move with that money? How are you going to manifest more money? How are you going to sustain that money? All of that is going to be part of this process. Also, I would really, really love for you to become a member of my ministry, and that is through Patreon. And Dr. Elaine Ferguson, who's also a part of my ministry, who runs my health and wellness ministry, she has shared with me some staggering information on surviving and thriving the situation of COVID and the vaccines, and has given me amazing peer-reviewed research on what not to do, why not to do, why not to vaccinate, what COVID really is, but also what there. And I think she'll be on with me, might be tomorrow or Thursday. She'll be back on my platform to talk about what the medical community has done to us, because all of this is part of that social engineering and propaganda. So the problem is that they are attacking doctors who are telling the truth about COVID and about vaccinations. And so she can't put this information on any platform that has an algorithm. So I can't put it on Facebook. I can't have her talk about it on YouTube. I can't have her talk about it, anything that has an algorithm. So we took all of her research, all of her information that she sends me sometimes on a daily basis, and I put it into Patreon, so our Patreon members can get access to the latest and greatest and the most truthful information in health and wealth and science. But also, we're going to be doing live lessons there starting in July, August, where I'll be coming on and doing personal live streams with my congregation, with my virtual congregation around the world. And I just love you all. And so if you are a Patreon member already, I love you. Thank you so much for being with me. There's a lot more to come. Also, I will be rendering this PowerPoint as a PDF, and I will be putting that into for our Patreon members. So when you want to have to go back and reference any of this work, you'll be able to do so. Also, I have a single out. I have an EP. I have what the kids call a mixtape. It's actually one of my sermons and lesson sermons on trauma, and where I really go in deep and talk about the 4 metaphysical traumas that Black people are dealing with. And so we're on all streaming platforms. So Spotify, iTunes, iHeart, Amazon, Apple Music, Pandora, there they all are, Shazam. You can go in, type in metaphysical Morpheus, or type in nothing is wrong with Black people, something happened to Black people. And while you're doing some mundane stuff or even driving to work, make that part of your spiritual university and listen and learn what happened to you. As I really explained that when I was first, I don't know, it was the first or second time that I was on the show here with Brother Andrew, where I talked about those 4 processes of trauma. Ghosting trauma that we talked about today, that programs the triune brain, is part of that. But this is a really wonderful thing, and it's absolutely free. You can just listen to it on whatever your device or music source of choice is. Also free, you can go to youtube.com/Shock Ministries and check out the Philippe Matthews Show and what we're doing there. Very, very exciting. We are radically and fastly approaching 50,000 dedicated subscribers to our channel. So I'm going to be doing a really big celebration on that when that manifests. And if you're not a subscriber, subscribe. So it's enough of you on here to push us over to that 50,000 subscriber mark. Brother Andrew has been on. So there's places where you can go on there and get all of the latest scholarship and the best of the best in the world, including Baba Kaba. You can also go, and this is free again, you can download our Affinity e-course at firstfrequency.com. And in that, that is our ministry, but it will give you everything you need to know about what is First Frequency, how to reveal First Frequency, what we're up to, and how to manifest this movement, become a part of this movement that we literally have taken around the world, because we're in the UK with all of y'all today. So as we wind down, let's practice our First Frequency daily meditation and affirmation and invoke the law of 7. So we're going to make a personal commitment to ourselves that we're going to repeat this 7 times a day, 7 days a week. And we're going to use that as our shield, as our way to insulate and inoculate ourselves from these racial battle fatigue, second frequency signals that keep coming in and distracting us and further compromising our lizard brain. So as we end, please repeat after me. I am one with First Frequency. I am one with the first thought idea. I am one with the firstborn people. I am one with the only one. Ashe, and so it is. Uncle Job Seneb family, thank you so much. Please share this content. Brother Andrew, thank you for the opportunity to be with you and to share, my beloved.
Wow, wow, wow. Brothers and sisters. Brother, I don't know how you do it. I really don't. I really don't. Brothers and sisters, my internet may click off at any time at the moment. But brothers and sisters, please. I'm not even laughing. I'm not even laughing, Reverend Shock. What you done today, King. I want the UK, and I know we got people from all over the world, but I want the UK especially. And if you come from the Caribbean or from the US, please show the love to our Reverend today. Show some love to Metaphysical Morpheus today, because that was a masterclass.
Thank you.
We had so much homework.
Wow.
We know, brother. Please don't thank us. We thank you, King. Wow. Brothers and sisters, the brother gave us lots of homework. That's what I love about this platform. It's not about just you know, massaging each other's ego. Yeah, this is about action tonight. And Reverend, you know, you drew in nearly over 400 people tonight. And you got to understand that in England right now, everyone is about the football. It's like a World Cup day today. So I wasn't sure what the turnout would be. I wasn't sure, but to see that 400 plus turned out tonight, we thank you, brother. We thank you.
I thank you, and you have very serious people that you know understand there are certain things that are more important for a game, because you can always listen and watch a game. That's beautiful.
Absolutely.
Thank you for that.
No, we thank you, big brother. And brothers and sisters, I just want to reiterate some of the homework he's given us. Brother, and Jarita's going to be in the chat room putting down all the links. But in just a few moments, brother, just revise quickly, the homework you've given us. You made several points in terms of what we can do in action after today's program. So we're not going back to the same life we were having prior to you speaking. Just give us a little recap of some of the main points.
The first part, of course, is, you know, getting the 10-step process and just working those 10 steps. I literally wrote even how to sign up to be an affiliate. I mean, it's just like technical, like boom, boom, boom. So even people who have a certain learning curve as it relates to technology, you got to break that. Stop being afraid. Stop talking about, oh, I'm not good with computers and technology. Yes, you are. You are God, goddess. You are first frequency. You invented it. You invented it. You invented the internet. It was the African. We did this. And so this is part of that reprogramming that we must do. But basically with affiliate marketing, we have to understand what disruptive economics means. It means that I had to get used to, and this is my personal story and personal journey, I had to get used to making money and earning income, not just every day, but all throughout the day. Like 24/7, there's income streams, multiple income streams coming in from affiliate marketing endeavors that I have put out. And every time I wake up, I have more money than when I went to sleep. Now, there was a point, and this is where the Sutton Wealth Syndrome comes in, that you can also download. Because I wasn't used to that, I would sabotage it and spend it or do something frivolous or stupid with it to keep me at my set point of whatever the amount of money or lack of amount of money I had in my bank account. So what we have to do is not just learn the process of disruptive economics, but we have to embody that and unlearn what has caused us to be locked into a slave economic system, because a job is a slave economic system. Now, what we're doing is kind of flipping the script and being disruptive. What we're saying is, great, you got your JOB, you're just over broke, that's great, but that shouldn't be your primary source of income. What you want is to have a disruptive source of income that doesn't have a cap on how much you can earn. So that becomes your main economic platform, and maybe your job maybe has health benefits and various different things that you want, then you can have, that's great, but don't have one source of income, because if you have one source of income, you never get out. You never grow, you never thrive. And so this is really what I want between those two books. Sudden Wealth is the mindset, spiritualnomics is the process. So I really want the family to get a hold of this, have access to this, get this to our children, and maybe do a group situation with your kids, a family night where you sit down and you go through certain Sutton Wealth Syndrome, you go through spiritualnomics, and you start to incorporate it and work the process.
Brothers and sisters, you heard it from the man himself. People are asking, when is this recording going to be available? It will be available from tomorrow. If you're on my WhatsApp group, the number is 07863 543 785. If you're on my mail out list, you'll get it throughout the week. The link to this show, but it will be available from my website tomorrow. Sister Jarita, we've gone over time, but you know what? We've got Reverend there. It's like royalty. Jarita, we got 5 minutes that we can drop any questions or any comments that you have with our Reverend. So brothers and sisters, don't go yet. Reverend is still with us for the next five or so minutes. Yes, sister.
Just one question at the moment, I think that wasn't still touched on, was the digital assets link. How does that link to non-fundable?
It's in the 10 steps. It's in the book.
Okay.
It's in the book, and that's where you go and choose which of our digital assets, or if all of them, you want to become affiliate of.
Great. I think.
I like to just say, just Sunray, I believe it is, Jay. This is excellent, just excellent, brother. Brother, you know, this is Andrew, you're off the hook, loving it, meaning you, brother.
Thank you, beloved.
I mean, some of the comments, I was just in tears, but brother, you know, this is what you call a church service. This is what this is, I'm not even joking, my king. This, if we had this as our church, if this was our congregation, and this was, that's why I love the term reverence shock, because you break up the whole concept of what religion, I don't like to use the word religion, but what spirituality is really about. Yes. It's not just about singing and clapping and making us feel good in that moment, but you're talking about making heaven whilst you live. Absolutely. You know, and you're changing that reality, brother. And you know, everyone, I can't, just words won't, well, we just can't, we just want to thank God for you, brother, and thank God that you are awake. You are awake, and you're on our side of the liberation, because no doubt if you was working against our people, brother, you'll be a formidable force to be fighting against. And I wouldn't want to be on the other side of the battleground with people like you against me, brother. So I thank Allah. I thank Allah that you're on our side of this battle, brother, because it's a long road. It's a long road. Yes. So got work to do. We've got work to do, my king. So, brother, was it Casimidi? Was it Camsidi says, yeah, baptism for real. Tonight was a baptism. Remember, this shock is literally a resident guest host, speaker, special guest speaker on this platform. So we will be looking for his next I don't want to use the word seminar or lecture, because it's what you give, brother, is greater than that. It's greater than that. So I've got to probably find the right word in the English language for what you drop on us. But as someone just said tonight, it was baptism. You know, it was a baptism. Thank you. So, brother, I know you said this in many ways already, but are there any last words you'd like to say to us tonight?
Sure. Well, you know, whatever it is that you have gone through, whatever trials and tribulations that you have been birthed into, whatever has happened to you, recognize that nothing is or has ever been wrong with you. This is a deliberate act, and it's layered. It's not just one thing they've done to us. It's multiple, or what they say, multiplicable. Multiple. And so that's why you can't kind of see the forest for the trees, because there are so many barriers to entry. There's so many systems of failure that are put in our path that many of us never get out, because it's designed for us never to get out. Yes. It's designed for us to fail. They want us to just simply either one, run out of time and die, or just simply die. Yes. Those are the only two things that this system does to us and wants from us. They do not want to see us thrive. They do not want to see Brother Muhammad's Academy. They do not want to see what Nana is doing in the community early. They don't want to see a Rev Shock be able to level the playing field economically and teach the congregation how to make as much money as the minister. They don't want you to know that. because the
Yes.
more they keep you in that darkness, the more they keep you in that ignorance and compromised lizard brain, then they become the majority minority and they keep control of you. And so we've got to break this propaganda. And so I'm just going to end with saying, don't give up, don't let up, and don't shut up until the creator and the ancestors take you up. Hotep.
Wow. Hotep. Brothers and sisters, this now you can understand, brothers and sisters. Brother Reverend Shock, I can see why now, and I'm sure he can appreciate this, and I really do mean this. I think the authorities are on him because, you know, we've had so much trouble every time we try to connect with him over the last few sessions. It's like this man, he is breaking up the mentality of slavery, brothers. This man's a very dangerous man because he's giving life and truth to us as a community. You know, when this man speaks,